to Virtual Tarot. I'm Ava.
And I am Trudy, and it is your March reading. Although we love you guys so much, we're actually reading on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
This is my Valentine, Ava.
Yes, I know. I love this woman.
We're not lesbians.
No,
and if we
don't
were,
get any. We don't want those emails. Are you lesbians?
And if we were, that would be fine.
Yes, as Seinfeld would say. And there's nothing wrong with that.
We're just not.
We're not. So,
yes.
But we are magicians.
Yes, we are, and we're about to read your 4-card spread for the month of March, tell you what's going to happen in your future so you can completely prepare. So grab a pen and pencil, or pen and pencil. Well, you might want a pencil and a pen. And a piece of paper so you can write this down and keep it in your pocket.
Right, or just listen.
There you go. Okay, so here we go. What do we do here? 4-card spread.
The first card represents the overall energy of the month of March for you, Cancer.
Second card represents challenges.
And the third is the unexpected.
And the fourth is the outcome. And then we're going to tell you the story of March for Cancer. And then from there, we're going to keep talking for a while. So here we go.
Yes.
You ready? Let's see.
Right in front of your very eyes.
This is the card that represents the energy for the month. This is going to color the entire month of March. Oh boy. We are, whoa! I got to tell you what, we are on fire today. All awesome cards so far for our water babies, right?
Water babies are, and this is water, yes.
This
Pisces,
is a beautiful,
coming up,
beautiful
but all the
card.
water signs are being positively affected.
Temperance.
Temperance. My favorite, she's my favorite angel.
Beautiful, beautiful card.
She's the angel of the golden mean.
Yes. So you are going to be creating some kind of magic this month by just staying in the center. And that means that if you've got projects happening, you have creative, you know, if you're an artist.
Oh yes, this is an artistic month.
You're going to be creating beauty from the mundane. So
yes,
you've just got a little bit of angel, like kind of energy around
angel
you.
dust.
Yeah, fairy dust. And it's I love this card so much because we were just talking about this, Ava and I. How do you create the most positive outcome, which I would say would be the most magical outcome, okay? Mm-hmm. How do you do that? Well, by creating the opportunity. It's very interesting. We had kind of the same reading for mm-hmm. Pisces. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity really lies within the center.
Mm-hmm. Your center.
Yeah. So if you stayed centered
mm-hmm.
and you allow the change to occur, that is the magic right. of the month.
Yeah, there's a gentility about the card because nothing is being forced. You don't insist upon having your way. What happens is you wait for it to go your way. Mm-hmm. Because there's a waiting and at peaceness from which you pull in mm-hmm. what you need as opposed to going out and getting it. You know?
And of course, patience is associated with this card.
Naturally, yeah, naturally, to be still.
Yes,
takes patience.
Yes, and to live in that place where there's no expectation, really, to the outcome. There's a lot of beauty,
right,
within that.
It reminds me
energy.
of standing or queuing in line, and standing there and becoming in complete control of your mood, even though the situation might be irritating you mm-hmm. or making demands on your sense of, well, I shouldn't be here doing this. I don't want to be standing in line waiting for hours for this. This is ridiculous. Instead, you say, well, look how interesting that person in line looks. Mm-hmm. You find things to engage your attention as opposed to being upset about not being where you want to be, but accepting where you are, and in such a way, you might find situations sort of unfolding naturally for you.
And there's a
without
lot of
force.
Yeah, there's a lot of balance in this card too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about yoga, and of course
Yeah.
I do Bikram yoga, Ava teaches Hatha yoga, but even within poses,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a matter of focus and staying in the middle and balancing energies and
Mm-hmm.
holding that position.
Right.
There's beauty in that.
Without competing with yourself. There's no competition in yoga. Yoga is about achieving things through total relaxation. And that's why this is probably the most yogic card, because it is to relax completely into the moment, into what you find yourself in without objecting to it, but discovering the beauty that is within the moment.
I think we covered that one. That's good. Okay, what do we
All
have?
right.
Oh, yes. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles in the position of challenge. He's in the upright. So far,
All right.
every card has been
Upright. So far.
upright. Yeah.
Amazing. And I turn them.
Uh-huh. So the challenge, it could be many things. Okay, we're going to start with hanging on to your money. So it's a pentacle card. It's about practical things, things you can touch, material things. This could be hanging onto your job, whatever is a stabilizing factor within your life, because it's a 4. So we're talking about foundations, practical, material foundations, and keeping the lid on what keeps you stable.
Yeah.
That could mean a lot of different things, but it's interesting right next to temperance, because that really is about stability.
Mm-hmm. Again, another,
But from a very spiritual or a major energetic karmic place, this is just sort of the everyday mundane
right.
kind of.
In your everyday life, in your physical environment, even your physical body, is to maintain a stability, a financial stability,
Health,
practical
which you
stability,
just brought up.
health
Yep.
stability, to maintain a solid foundation beneath you,
Mm-hmm.
and not to get
Keeping it practical.
keeping it practical, to pay attention to the practical.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the challenge might be that you're literally awarded some physical abundance. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with that? That's why this is often about investment.
You bury it in the backyard.
What do you do with your money to protect it? What do you do with that which if you bought property?
Yeah.
Then how do you keep it? How do you maintain it? How do you make the proper choices to maintain that stable foundation?
It can also point to the fact that you find yourself in a position of possessiveness.
Yes, it could be jealousy at its worst.
Where instead of sharing, you're bearing.
Yes.
So we don't want to become too,
it's
let's
mine.
hold on to what
Right.
we have now.
Right. Yeah, it could be your
Could be, we
challenge is
don't
to
know yet.
overcome that.
Yes.
Or
To keep it for yourself.
to keep
This is mine.
or to sort of to put up that fence
Mm-hmm.
and say,
I'm not going to share.
I'm not going to share.
It's
So it
mine.
can be one or the other.
Yeah, let's
Let's
see.
see. Yes, some
Is
more of
it?
that.
Here we go. Boy, I gotta tell you, don't we predict these cards? So unexpectedly, charity is called for. Whether that be the giving of charity or the receiving of charity. And that would mean help freely given.
Yes.
Assistance from a practical
and
level.
help joyfully received.
Yes.
One or the other.
Yes. So you're being asked, it looks as if, to give of what you've acquired.
Or the opposite.
Or the opposite.
Which is the same as this.
Receive.
What you need.
Yep. One of the two.
And to, this is about gratitude as well.
It certainly is. Yep.
So when we are grateful in a very sincere way, unexpectedly, we do achieve the aim, the goal. We get exactly the amount we need.
Well, it's about currency too, which is interesting because that's what, money is simply currency that ebbs and flows. It's an energy.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because
and this is energy too.
Yeah, the other day I was listening to something about that, about currency being energy, and that it is literally energy. And so where you spend your money is where your energy goes, where your attention, your focus, your life is determined by where you put your money.
Exactly.
And we were saying you need to put your money always in places that ultimately serves your highest interests. And that's what this card is about.
They say put your money where your mouth is. On the last card. Hierophant in the upright. We have, here you go, the Orthodoxy. Wow. Interesting card.
So
to show up, I'm going to hold these two up. Here, you get to look at my legs. Here we go.
The energy remains the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right
Okay, there's the Temperance card. These are the major arcana cards flanking this reading. I'm going to hold them up because we keep doing this. We keep getting two majors, one on each end, and then in the middle we've got the minors. Interesting.
Yeah, I feel the energy is absolutely consistent. The challenge and the unexpected have a relationship.
Okay.
And these two are the same,
it's the same relationship.
Sort of
and
thing.
Why does she say that? Okay, because temperance is about the flow of energy, but this energy is more a higher spiritual energy. Okay.
Here we have a deep appreciation of what you have.
Yes, and here we have spiritual orthodoxy, which is basically, it can mean dogma even. This is the way it is, okay? So how do we stay grounded from a spiritual standpoint, but also let this sort of spiritual energy flow at the same time?
But this is also communion, a communion with your brethren who are also within the same substructure, and to relate in the community from a well-balanced position. Whatever that community means to you, it could be your job, could be your family, could be your literal community, and to integrate yourself into that community from a very balanced position. And
yeah, it is a balancing act. The entire thing is a balancing act.
And sort of like at the end, if you're a piece of a puzzle, then how do you fit into that puzzle?
Well, how do I remain spiritual within this sort of square environment, I guess, is what I'm coming up with. Because this reminds me of the church.
But this church can be spiritual if what leads the church is a spiritual ideology. And it may just demand a certain amount of ritual. And this is often about that ritual, which a lot of people need ritual.
They do, yes.
In order to get there.
There's a beauty in ritual.
And there is a deep beauty in ritual.
Yes.
And so maybe you immerse yourself
on a deep psychological level.
Right. Some ritual. Maybe a ritual of your family. You create ritual. Or within the work environment, some sort of prescribed behavior and procedure that you must or you're asked to follow.
But if this is a love reading and it is Valentine's Day,
well, it is now. I normally see it.
It is a love reading because it really does say if you're patient, if you're within a relationship and you practice patience within this relationship, and you maybe are, I don't want to say detached, but have an expectation that this relationship is going to turn into the relationship,
an orthodox
that you're
union.
waiting for.
Right.
At the end, this is also the card of marriage.
That's
and financial stability is really in the middle of the sandwich.
I can always trust Trudy to give a beautiful love reading.
In the center of the sandwich, what do we have? Gift giving, we have financial stability. We have this beautiful giving and receiving going on, this sharing. And
maybe that's your father trying to protect his finances.
Maybe. But the challenge could just be you trying to become, more stable. And that might be important to you, to be more financially stable.
And to establish for yourself to get your feet
sort of firmly planted.
Deeply planted into some terra firma.
Yeah, exactly. Because that could be, in the end, we could have some sort of ritual or something that's going to create this environment that allows for this beautiful, sharing.
Or you're going to become some sort of god king.
Sharing of wealth.
And lead the pack.
Yeah, or you may buy into the idea.
Yes.
You may buy into the idea of orthodoxy or becoming more
traditional.
Yeah, traditional. That's it.
All right.
Well, good for you, Cancer, because this is the month of tradition, and February is, I received a couple of Valentines, and in my mailbox, and I almost fell off my my platform shoes because that tradition seems to be going out the window, But I love tradition.
Exchanging niceties.
Well, no, receiving cards in the mail.
Oh, I see.
But how nice is that? I like tradition.
Nobody ever mails anymore. Snail mail, they call it.
I love tradition. It's beautiful. So I have a new tradition for you, Cancer. How about this? You subscribe to the 5th card, okay?
Yeah.
I know. It's a punny kind of way to get you into the 5th card, but it's great. It's higher spiritual counsel. I am. And Ava will spend a lot of time reinterpreting this 4-card spread and giving you a
labor of love.
Deeper, richer interpretation of these 4 cards, and then she will add an additional 5th card, Major Arcana only, to this reading. So you won't
subscribe.
Please, miss.
You'll love it.
Yes,
it's the communication is from a different level. And spiritual higher communication, let's just say.
Channeled almost.
Channeled almost, yes.
And then we also offer private readings, Ava and I. You can go to our channel, avatrudyvirtualtarot.com.
Thank you.
Order a personal and private reading. And that is something that will speak specifically to where you are, what you're doing, family, friends, that type of thing, depending on the question.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. And last but not least, get healthy with Ava.
I have a new channel.
A spin-off from Virtual Tarot.
Yes, it's called Ava's Total Health and Fitness Solutions, featuring the Alkaline Kitchen with Ava and Christina, my other girlfriend, whom you'll hopefully love. In her kitchen, we will create a totally vegan alkaline recipe, many to come hopefully. And in my long vegetarian experience, I've found that this formula, health formula, is probably the most ideal to create optimum physical health. Every single meal you eat determines either it adds to or subtracts from your well-being. And so this will be hopefully a fun and educational journey that you and I take towards optimum health.
And you should love that, Cancer. You love food. So we are going to say goodbye. Mwah. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, March.
Yep.
We'll see you in April. Wow.
See you in April.